And we continue now with our great American panel. All right, so if you listen to the pundits in the news media and you listen to news reports, you would think that the Arizona law that was passed on immigration, that this is Nazi Germany. Because I literally spent a minute and 30 on my radio show today, examples of people using the Nazi analogy. Where are your papers?
It's ridiculous, Sean. It's a federal crime to be an illegal immigrant in this country. So if a state wants to enforce what is a federal law with its own law, how can that be totalitarian? Washington has already made it a crime. Yeah. Here's the thing. My brother was on the Tucson police force for 25 years. He dealt with the border. This is a law that most people support, but it's a Band-Aid. We do need a system where we combine enforcement, cracking down, with what we had in the 50s and 60s, the Bracero program, an orderly process of guest workers that come in here, don't stay forever.
It's all, and it can be discussing that. But the first thing we got to do is we got to stop the illegal immigration problem, and that is our borders are not secure. Lindsey Graham asked Janet Napolitano. She said that's an unfair question.
We are not going to be able to do it with just enforcement alone. And I'll tell you why. We select only one out of every 30 applicants for the Border Patrol. We try to screen as carefully as possible. We still have an epidemic of corruption and bribery because there's so much money to be made by these coyotes who bring these people across the border. Now, this law will help, but it's a Band-Aid. We need to combine real enforcement where we put employers who hire illegal aliens in jail and at the same time provide them with a legal path so they can bring in people because the economy down there does need that labor.
All right, Leanne, what do we do with the people that are already broke the law, came into this country illegally, and did not respect American sovereignty?
Well, I mean, it's easier said than done, but if it was me, I'd deport them. Because they broke a law. It's illegal. It's in the Constitution, Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution.
10 million
well, that's what I'm saying. You can't. And it's upwards of probably 20 million that we don't know. That's what I'm saying. You can't do that. I would deport them, but you can't.
Don't look for me for support because I agree with her.
But they all broke a law. What do you do? Just because they're close to us and the Mexicans come in, that we should give them all a free pass?
We only have a limited number of available.
I don't think they should get a free pass.
Available slots, if you will, for people to come into this country legally.
We can expand it.
Put it
if you have education and capital.
There's going to be some limit. So do you give it to the people that respect our laws, respect our sovereignty, go through the proper procedures, or do you give it to the people that just came in here legally and say, all right, we'll let you stay?
Jump the line and make everyone looks like chumps.
When someone is here illegally and they are caught, they should be at the bottom of that long queue. But the fact of the matter is, as John said, we need these people to do jobs that Americans don't want to do. I think it's unrealistic to think you can send 10 to 20 to 30 million people, nobody knows for sure, home.
Let's start with something everyone can agree on, but we're not doing. Anyone who commits any crime in this country who's an illegal immigrant should be immediately deported or jailed, because that's the end of the conversation. The other people obviously are not. Yes, but we don't do that. I was in California a few years ago where I saw people literally released from state jail. There was no Border Patrol officer there. They literally went out into the community again after serving their 90-day sentence.
Look at the impact, Leanne, that it's having on society, and especially the border states. Yes. And I've been down to the border, what, 5, 6, 7 times.
Right.
I mean, it's literally bankrupting states like California and Arizona and Nevada and Texas.
Yes, and the people that I know people that live in Arizona, and they say how terrible it is. I can't talk. I don't live in Arizona. I don't deal with the borders like they do. And they say you can't understand what it's like to be in our shoes. You know, when Janet Napolitano was governor there, she wanted the United States government to reimburse her $350 million because they were holding illegals in jail. That's how much it cost the state of Arizona in 1 year. I mean, that was her, and now she's saying,
oh, you know. said to Lindsey Graham that it's an unfair question to ask if the border is secure.
She wanted the border secure when she was down there, so I don't know why she's flip-flopping now.
I can tell you why, because she works for
Well, of course.
This is a federal problem, and we need to deal with it federally, and this law is unconstitutional, and it will not stand.
In the 1950s, he hired one of his generals from the D-Day invasion, and he said, I'm putting you in charge of the border. Here's what you do. You tell the employers, you don't hire any illegal aliens, we'll put your name in the paper on the front page, and we'll put you in jail for a night. But at the same time, we'll expand the Bracero program, the guest worker program. You will have a path to hire temporary guest workers. And some of those people eventually stayed, most didn't, but some of those people stayed and became fine citizens. We solved this problem in the 50s. We took the number of arrests on the border from 1 million in 1953 down to 30,000 in 1959. Then the labor unions came in, and under Lyndon Johnson, we ended the program, and we have these current problems. All right. Because the labor unions didn't like it.
Great panel tonight, and good to see you all. Thanks for being here.
Happy birthday, Alice.
Alice, who's Alice?
Alice is my friend's wife.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Alice. Now, coming up, believe it or not, there is an environmental effort I fully support. Carmen Electra is coming up next to tell us all about it. And by the way, Al Gore, I hope you're watching. You may learn something.